Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
Starfield is here and the FGS team has been putting in so many hours across the PC and Xbox versions to bring you this tried and tested list of tips and secrets to be found. Our guide will save you time and aggravation in your playthrough of Bethesda's sci-fi RPG, whether you're just starting out or you've already sunk serious hours in. Good news as well, there's no spoilers ahead, and our guide is packed with advice that will help you navigate faster, find better loot, mine resources faster, and much more. We'll even tell you what not to waste your money on and save you from making some of the mistakes that we did.
Beginning combat protocol.
So here are 10 useful things that Starfield just doesn't really tell you about.
What? Well, I'll be.
1. Where are you going? First up, when you're boots on the ground on a busy planet, it can be difficult to actually figure out where you're going. It can all be a little distracting, with the neon lights flashing in your face and every other NPC trauma dumping on you like it's a sci-fi Jerry Springer.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical.
But if you find yourself a little lost, then fear not. Simply make sure you have the mission that you're wanting to pursue active in your mission screen, and then activate your scanner, and you should see this lovely trail appear on the floor, leading you directly to your current objective. Bear in mind though, this isn't the most reliable system in the world. It might not give you the most direct route, especially if you're free roaming on an unexplored planet. But a point in the right direction is better than stumbling across the cosmos completely aimlessly. 2. Scanning for loot. The scanner is also good for finding valuable loot in the sea of trash and clutter that makes up this massive immersive RPG. You can pick up everything in this game, from every used coffee cup to individual playing cards, but obviously most of this is completely worthless. Using your scanner will highlight every object in the environment that you can pick up, and you should try to get used to doing this often, as it will also highlight ammo caches and weapon cases, and these can often be easily missed amongst the deluge of trinkets and garbage that Starfield allows you to hoard, if you wish.
I steal all the sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
3. Mining resources faster. Collecting raw materials is crucial in Starfield if you want to build up outposts and upgrade your gear. And whilst you might be familiar with this laser mining system if you've played No Man's Sky, you might not know that you can significantly speed up the process by aiming down sights before you pull the trigger. This takes the process of mining raw materials from several seconds to about 1 second, and will save you a lot of time and boredom in the long run. Bonus tip. The laser cutter is also effective for taking down mechanical enemies from robots to turrets. Plus, it's got infinite ammo, so best to keep it in your favorites. 4. Take a load off. Those raw materials we just mined are useful for a whole bunch of things in Starfield, but they are also very heavy, and holding onto them can cause you to become encumbered quickly. If you've become encumbered, you'll notice this sign in the top right of your screen, and then you'll notice your oxygen depleting very quickly. If you move at full speed or sprint, then your oxygen bar will decrease, and your CO2 bar will increase. If your CO2 maxes out, then you'll start taking damage, so it's worth keeping an eye on. But remember, your companion can act as your private pack mule. Simply tell them you want to trade and then dump all of your crap on them until the game tells you that they can't carry any more. You can also dump stuff in your ship's cargo hold by interacting with this panel. Depending on what ship you have, its location might be a little bit different, but it's worth finding and getting acquainted with so that you can feel a little lighter as you traverse the vastness of space. Annoyingly though, your companion or ship's inventories are not taken into account if you're at a crafting or research station on your ship. So make sure you stuff everything you can into your backpack before heading onto these crafting and research menus so that you can utilize all of those resources that you've collected. And don't worry about being encumbered in this moment either, it won't have any effect on you while you're in these menus. 5. Read your books. Starfield is full of interesting lore and stories hidden away in books and notes. And if you're anything like me, you couldn't care less about any of that stuff and you just want to get to the next shooty bit. Well, unfortunately, you should do your homework and read your books, as some will unlock cool side quests or permanent, albeit slight, stat buffs for your character. If you played Fallout, then you'll be familiar with these skill books, but regardless, you should know that just picking them up will give you important permanent stat boosts, and they don't even weigh anything at all. They will also have nice cover art that helps them stand out from the 700th copy of Moby Dick that you've probably come across. So keep an eye out, and know that the first one that you'll come across is right here in the Constellation HQ.
Why couldn't it?
And annoyingly, while I just made fun of the Moby Dick books, others, like the Great Expectations, will actually trigger side quests that are easily missed, so you should probably give these a quick scan too. 6. Don't waste your money on Grav Drive upgrades. Traveling great distances in Starfield can seem like an impossible task when you first start out, but with a bit of time and patience, you can basically get wherever you want to go. You can fast travel to any star system you visited before, but if your next objective is further away and out of reach, then you can bunny hop your way there by making shorter space jumps to other closer star systems first. As soon as you load in, jump straight back into the menus to select the next star system along and jump once more. However, you will need to rank up your astrodynamics skill, as this lets you make bigger jumps without spending money. We only needed to get to level 3 to reach the main quest's final destination, so you don't even have to upgrade this all the way to complete the game, but it is worth getting up to level 3. Sure, it's a little tedious and painful to bunny hop your way across the stars like this, and you might run into some pirates that you'll need to dispatch before you're able to make your next jump. But it's a lot less painful than giving up the mountain of credits required to get the best grav drive in the game. 7. Stealing ships. When Starfield was first announced, I think we all loved the idea of living out our best space pirate lifestyle and stealing all of the fanciest vessels in the galaxy to add to our armada. And while it is possible, and the game even forces you to board and take over a ship in an early tutorial, the option then seemingly disappears, and you're only left with the option to totally destroy ships from that point on. What the game doesn't tell you is that to disable, board, and take over your target ship, you need to first unlock a specific perk when you're leveling up. The Targeting Control System perk allows you to target specific parts of the enemy ships. Disabling their engines will leave them floating in space, vulnerable and ready for boarding, so that you can jump on, indiscriminately wipe out the inhabitants, and take command. Once you sit in the captain's chair, that ship is yours, and from that point on, you've got a few options. Either use this new ship as your new home base, the bodies of the previous owners will eventually disappear, maybe. You can add it to your personal ship collection, or you can sell it. You'll need to register it before you sell it though, so head to one of the major cities and talk to the ship technician when you land. The registration fee will always be less than the credits that you get for selling the ship, so you'll net out positive in the end. To register and sell the ship, ask the technician to take a look at the ships he has on offer. Then tab over to your own ships, find the unregistered one, pay the credits it requires to register it, and then hit sell. Easy money.
And don't worry, this will all become second nature before too long.
8. Sleeping and waiting. Sleeping and waiting around have been staples of Bethesda RPGs since Morrowind, but in Starfield they have more benefits than you might think. Being well rested after sleeping for a decent amount of time will net you an XP bonus, just like it did in Fallout 4. That's right, after taking a well-earned nap, you will get the well-rested buff that can give you up to 10% more XP for 30 minutes. This is well worth taking advantage of, plus sleeping saves the game for you too. So if you run into any crashes or issues with your saves, being constantly well rested could be the difference between losing 30 minutes of progress and tens of hours of progress.
You should be honored to step foot in here.
Another benefit of using the wait functionality is when dealing with vendors. If you need to stock up on ammo, or have a bounty of trinkets ready to sell, but your favorite vendor keeps running out of inventory or cash, then simply wait around on the nearest seat for 24 hours. This will replenish their stock and re-up them with some much needed funds so that you can continue your shopping spree. 9. Dealing with your crew.
Ryder.
Starfield is full of menus, some more helpful than others, but one that is critical is a menu hidden within a menu that the game never really tells you about. In the ship section of your menus, you have the option to view your crew menu. From here, you can see the staff on your ship and various outposts, and can assign crew members to different jobs or move them around. This also shows you which crew member skills are actually being utilized and which are being wasted. So if you have a crew member in the wrong location or performing the wrong job, then this is the best place to figure that out and fix it easily. Also, if you loaded a crew member up with a bunch of needed resources, only to abandon them on an outpost in the middle of nowhere, then simply reassign them to your ship fast travel anywhere, and then just like magic, they should appear on your ship, ready for you to trade with once more so you can reclaim all of your goodies. Then you can use that same menu to send them right back to that outpost out in the middle of nowhere. Easy. 10. Don't ignore photo mode. Or do. Photo mode is a great feature in modern games that adds to the plentiful list of distractions that will keep you from saving the galaxy or whatever the main quest has us doing in Starfield. But in Starfield, the photo mode isn't just good for sharing your pics on Twitter or X or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. That's right, snapping away in photo mode will populate your loading screens with your saved photos. So get snapping and let the game occasionally remind you of all of the lovely and not so lovely places that you visited. And those are our picks for the things that Starfield doesn't tell you about that we think you should know about. Let us know in the comments if you have any helpful tips, or if you have any questions about the game that we might be able to help you with. And remember to subscribe to FGS here on YouTube for a whole bunch more Starfield coverage.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves that.
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one.